Hello and welcome to another campaign battle for Total War Warhammer 2, and we're going to be defending one of our major settlements against two very large Skaven armies. Now these armies have suffered some attrition damage, as you can see here, so that's going to help us out a little in this fight, but these are very strong armies. They've got a lot of storm vermin, a lot of these gutter runner slingers with poison, they've got Doomwheel, they've got a lot of different rat ogres, and they've got two Hellpit abominations, so they're going to be really tough to take down if they manage to get inside our walls. But we have an army stationed here protecting it, and we have a very strong garrison with 3 War Hydras, which is, if they do get inside our walls, we're going to send those War Hydras right in against them. So we're probably going to see some War Hydras versus Hellpits in this fight, so that could be pretty fun. But otherwise, we've got a pretty good army to see off this thread, I think. Okay, let's take a look at how they are set up. So on this side they have all of their artillery and their Doomwheel. So they're probably going to try and punch a hole in our walls, and you can see their lord there on his rat ogre. Over in the centre they've got 2 siege towers, backed up by a lot of their, looks like their stronger infantry there. Yep, they've got some plague monks, some standard clan rats. I imagine they got the storm vermin in those towers. Yep, they do. Over here we have a battering ram, and a lot of those rat ogres, some more clan rats, some bombardiers. Now the reinforcements are coming in from this side. So this is pretty smart, because if they can punch a hole in our walls and gates here, the reinforcements are really going to flood this way. So we're going to need to be aware of that. But we also need to keep an eye on this side, so we really need to spread our forces out right along the wall here. This is going to be a battle that takes in the entire wall of the settlement, not just a section of it. Okay, so on this side we have the battering ram and some clan rats. These guys aren't too much of a threat, so we're probably going to stick maybe our Blackheart Corsairs with handbows over on this side. Hopefully they'll be able to take down that battering ram unit before it reaches the walls. Now over here they're going to have some tough infantry coming up these walls, so we're going to need to meet that with some of our own. So we're probably going to go for our executioners. Although we might spread these guys out just a little and put some, either some witch elves. I think we'll go with some corsairs. Actually no, we've got some blackguard here, although that might be better kept in reserve. If they do manage to get through this gate, if they bring in that hell pit, or both hell pits, we're going to need some support. So we'll probably get some Blackheart Corsairs up here as well. Now over on this wall I think we're going to have to start using some of our dark shards. Now whatever we put over here is going to probably take a battering from that artillery, but we need some range fire to deal with their reinforcements. Okay, we might keep a couple of these guys in reserve to fly over the walls, or up onto the walls if they do manage to get up there. And we're going to have to keep some infantry down here at this gate just in case they do manage to punch through. Let's get our Dreadlord over here on the walls. Probably put her over in the central area. Let's get these harpies out of the way. And we've got those War Hydras. So we'll probably keep those by this gate, because I imagine if those hell pits are coming in, they're going to try and come in through this gateway. If they do, they're going to really meet their match. And they'll be backed up by some blackguard as well. So we've got some Corsairs. We're probably going to put these up on the walls to help back up some of our archer units. And we've got Death Hag over here. We'll probably put her over on this wall. So we've got some good spear units here. These could be really useful. So we'll keep a couple over here on this gate. And maybe put a couple in reserve over here as well. We are ready. Now we might want to put a couple of units in reserve on the point just in case any do break through and try and cap it. I actually lost a settlement a few turns before this fight where the enemy managed to get a few to the centre. And once they did, it was difficult to get them out of there. We've got some more Corsairs here and some Witch Elves. Let's get the Corsairs up on the wall. Try and back these up a little. Yeah, what do we have left? We have a lot of these bleak swords. So these aren't going to be that useful in this fight, but we can use them to plug some gaps. We are ready. I'll keep them back there for the moment. So I think we're pretty much set up now. Okay, this should be a pretty good fight. And we also have a breath attack we can use as well. The balance is in our favour and I expect we will win this. Just swing along our walls. Not quite sure how we're going to use those harpies in this fight. We might target that artillery, but it might be tricky once those reinforcements come in. Okay, let's see where they're going to target, because I imagine they're going to target either the gate or walls of these. Now because they've only got 2 towers, we might actually be able to destroy both of these before they hit the walls. But it depends, as you can see, this one has them both in its arc, this one that's actually just moving out of its range. Okay, that artillery fire is coming in and they're going straight for the gate, so that's going to fall very quickly. And when it does, I imagine they're going to push all of these reinforcing units up, including those hell pits. So we're already at 74% damage. Looks like that tower might just go down. But this one will arrive. There we go. So let's try and get our breath attacking on these units, a little clumped up. There we go. Okay, they managed to punch a hole through our gates. But when they do, they're going to find a little surprise waiting for them. And they've got a lot of ranged fire coming in. Okay, we're doing a really good job here. That's going to be coming up against our Black Ark Corsairs. Okay, I think it's time to use our harpies. Try and take out that artillery. Okay, you can see their warlord coming in. Let's try and plug the gap. keep our Hydras in reserve for the moment. Let's get those guys some support. So they've made the battering ram to the gate, but it looks like they've just had that unit wiped. So they're going to have to get someone else on it if they want to use it. They're trying to climb here, but they're only basic clan rats. I'm not too concerned. This looks like a really good place to use our breath attack. Get our harpers in. Now it looks like their other lord on a screaming bell is moving over to this gate along with both hell pits. Okay, so they've got their globadiers on the battering ram now. That's smart. It's almost at 50% damage. But I think we've seen off this attack here. Let's reform a little. So Hydras haven't actually been needed on this gate yet. So I'm not sure how long these harpers will last, but they should tie down that artillery quite well. Okay, they managed to destroy that gate. So it looks like they're going to push their hell pits through here, but we've got some spear units ready to counter. So they've done a lot of damage to our black guards. You can see that poison attack. It's very effective. Let's pull them out of the way. Okay, one harpy unit is down. This one's done a good job though. Let's keep them on it.
Corsairs! Die, weaklings!
Okay, so we've got this hell pit coming in here. Let's get our spearmen in on it. Some more rat ogres coming in, but we should be able to deal with those. I think we should really push our hydras out here. Get them out onto the field where they can do some real damage. Okay, the hell pit's actually, our spearmen are doing a really good job against that hell pit. They're really trying to push everything through this gate now. Doing a good job of holding these walls. Okay, let's get some fire attacking on that hell pit. There we go. I don't think that's going to last much longer. Let's get our witch elves involved. That looks like that hell pit is about to go down. And they are in full retreat. I really want to try and take out as many of their units as I can.
Corsair handbows! Finish them!
I've still got another winds I really want to drop down on them, but not many of their infantry left now, which is nice. Don't think we're quite going to catch them. But I think we saw off that attack fairly well. No great casualties. Apart from that unit of bleak swords, which I think took a lot of ranged fire. And that blackguard unit lost about half its health, mostly from those poison attacks. And they're just slowly retreating from the field. So it was a good fight for us. We've been dealing a lot of these Skaven armies during this final ritual. Okay, there we go. So our ranged units, yeah, they did a really good job in that fight. Hydras didn't even really need to get involved. So as you can see, we've got 14 turns left on the final ritual. That's why we've been fighting a lot of these siege battles, because we're nearing the end of this campaign and the AI is really throwing everything it has at our cities now to try and stop us. But we're almost there. So I've almost dealt, well, I think we've probably got a couple more siege battles to go. I might record them. I don't want to put up too many because they'll get a bit boring. But this was quite a fun one to fight with so many Skaven. So we're almost there. We're almost at the final battle. So I will see you in that soon.